Welcome to Simply Moto, and today I wanted to talk about why I started riding, or at least wanting to ride a motorcycle. I was always into cars, and of course, I was into classic cars. I got into more and more classic cars, classic trucks, and of course, the price point for these things in the past, I want to say 7-8 years, has been ridiculous. They want $15K for a car that's $3,000, and then you still have to put thousands of dollars worth of money into it. Now, I wasn't going to do that because I guess in the market it's worth it, but not for me. It's not one of those things I really need. And then I kind of I leave it on the back burner, but I'm still looking. And then I started sometime early in the year, and I've wanted to, it's kind of just been in the back of my head to learn how to ride. It's just always looked really fun. I always liked just being out and about and not just being in front of the TV. And I started watching. I don't even know why. I think it started on TikTok. I started seeing more and more motorcycle stuff. And then YouTube, it started showing up. More and more just moto vlogging. And something about it just made me just not stop thinking about it. I have not stopped thinking about it. And I think about, this is even before I started riding, I just kept thinking about riding. That's how bad it was, that feeling that I just want to. And I wasn't gonna just go and buy any bike. Of course, you do the research, you look it up, and there's several different bikes, R3s, Ninja 400s, Rebel 500, Rebel 300, the smaller CC bikes. And there's tons of them. And of course, I wanted something I get around for my area. As you can see here, this area right here, the speed limit is 55. And of course, the cars around me are not going to do 55. I got tailgated in fog, and I was doing the speed limit through fog one morning. And of course, that's on this road here. And I didn't want a smaller bike so I can have more trouble getting away from larger cars, if that makes sense. I needed a little bit more power, but of course I'm not going to buy a 600, 650, a liter bike, that sort of thing. I wanted something smaller because I didn't know, honestly, what my throttle control would be. I don't want whiskey throttle. I don't want to have any of those issues, so I figured this would be my best bet, is kind of lower CC. I wanted a Ninja 400. Now, what I was going to get, and I was set on it, got the money out for it, was a CF Moto 300. Whatever, SS, whatever they call it. And I got a price on it, and it wasn't bad. And then I kept looking on Facebook Marketplace one morning. This was, when I mean morning, it's probably 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and somebody was selling their 2021 Ninja 400. Now this Ninja 400 had 742 miles on it, and he dropped the price from what he had it, which was, I think, originally close to 7. And then, for whatever reason, that morning, all I saw was there was a slash on it. And then it said 5,500. So I was like, well, maybe I can get this. Because that afternoon, I was going to the dealership to buy a brand new CF Moto 300. I was going to. And I shot him a number. For whatever reason, he took it. I told him I'd bring the cash that day, and I did. And I was so nervous because it was such a good deal. I got a price on a new Ninja at a dealership. After fees and everything, it was just over $8,100. Let's just say I paid for this one, you see me riding, probably $3,000 less than that. And it's pretty much, it's just sat there. It's not, it fell over once, but it's just a little nick on, like a little scratch on the muffler cover, the exhaust cover, and then right there on the handlebar in the corner by my hand. That was it. You can't really see much at all, so I got a really good deal on this bike. And of course, I did what I needed to do. I got my license. Of course, I went to the MSF course, which I'll talk about in a different video. And of course, the bike just sat there. And just looking at it made me nervous and excited. But judging it was a different, I was so nervous. Even taking the MSF course, I didn't go into my bike, and I'm thinking, this is it. This is it. I have to do it now. Even though I rode that bike, it was a 250, Suzuki 250, TU 250, I believe is what it was. And I just was nervous. Of course, the clutch was a little bit lighter, or a lot lighter on this bike than a lot of bikes are. I had to tighten up my throttle on it because it was super loose, and I kept having issues. And I over time, from this point right here, like I would ride on weekends early, just because cars will tailgate you in these areas. Because this is technically not one of those residential roads; it's technically a highway. So everybody's in a rush on these roads. And for me as a new rider, I do not want to make a mistake at 60 miles an hour versus one at 20, 25, 30 sort of thing. But that's basically how I got to riding. Is I just committed to taking the course and getting my license. I had the bike probably a month before I even got my license, but I didn't ride it because I wanted to do everything the right way, as you should. I got my license, I have insurance on the bike, I have a good helmet, I have a jacket, I have gloves, I have shoes, at some point I'll get pants. But that's how I started to ride, is because I wanted, like, it's just something I kept thinking about, and it just looked so fun. But it also gave me an opportunity to challenge myself for something different, not highway runs or anything like that. I was just so excited to just learn something new and ride and ride and ride. And let's just say I'm still learning, but I will say it's one of the funnest things. It's dangerous. One of the funnest things I've actually picked up to learn, because I mean, when you stop learning, you stop living. So hopefully over like my next videos, I go into more in depth and of course learn to ride more. I hope that at least you enjoyed some of that, and maybe you have some of the same feelings about wanting to ride. It is scary at first. Don't believe me or not, it is scary at first, and you should be afraid of your bike, because if you take it for granted, it will hurt you really bad. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one.